Toy Story 4. What makes the toys conscious? What makes the toys in Toy Story 4 alive? Well, I've got this theory. In Toy Story 4, there's this character called Forky. Forky was a spork that was taken out of the trash and then turned into a toy by a child. Forky was trash before he became a toy, and he retained that identity of being trash after he became a toy. And so he had a hard time adjusting to being a toy. He wanted to go to the trash can. He wanted to be trash because that's what he was. He was a spork that had already been used to eat food, and now he was trash. And this is where Aristotle comes into play in this Toy Story 4 over-analysis, as you will. Teleology is purpose-driven. What does that mean? Well, it means if I create a spork, it exists in order to fulfill that purpose. It's future-driven, right? And so the thing that causes a spork to be a spork is that it will eventually be used to eat a salad or a spicy burrito or something. And this is contrasted by deontological thinking, which is the idea that the thing that caused a spork to be a spork is the fact that someone made it, and it is a spork because of its properties that it has after it was made. I think the takeaway here is that deontology equals past, and teleology equals future or purpose. And so what does this have to do with why the toys in Toy Story 4 are conscious? Well, thank you for asking. Here is my theory. Here we go. In the Toy Story universe, everything is conscious, right? So it's not only toys that are conscious, it's sporks that are conscious, and it's people are conscious, obviously, but then rocks would be conscious, and the sun is conscious, and the earth is conscious, and the space dust floating through our solar system is conscious. Everything is conscious, and it's conscious because it needs to fulfill its teleological purpose. And the only way it can do that is through consciousness, right? So what's the purpose of a space dust floating through our solar system? Well, its purpose is to just be in orbit. And so it behaves in a way that allows it to do that. The purpose of a toy is to be there for a child, to comfort the child, to have fun with the child, to be there as it grows up. And so that's what Woody does. That's what Bonnie does. That's what they all do, right? And what's the teleological purpose of a used spork named Forky? Well, its purpose is to reside in the trash can, and we see that in the movie. It just wants to be in trash. So there's my theory. Now, what's even more interesting is that I think the real world is deontological. And so future events are determined by the past, as opposed to in the Toy Story universe where future events are determined by their purpose, right? And so in our universe, toys are not conscious, but in a teleological universe they would be. But let's go back to our Toy Story universe for just a little longer, because if everything is conscious, and if everything is conscious because it's fulfilling a teleological purpose, well then what would be the purpose of people? I don't know. That's a good question. And I know we don't live in a Toy Story universe, but it's still worth thinking about. That wraps up this video. I highly recommend that you leave a comment, because I make videos to connect with people. And the best way to do that is just to read comments and to respond to comments, to have a conversation. And you can also subscribe.